Hello everyone, welcome to the Hypergamous Journey. My name is Denise. At this channel we talk about dating advice for women 55 and older. From a hypergamous lens, hypergamy is the practice of dating, marrying, partnering with a man of a higher social and economic class. The term hypergamy was coined in India, the country India, and they're by an Indian man. I don't know his name, but I did read the section where he describes it. And this is a cultural phenomenon in India, and I don't even know if it's right to call it phenomenon, but a cultural tradition. That's the better word. It's a cultural tradition from generation to generation for thousands of years. It's been in India, Pakistan, Middle Eastern countries as well. And it used to be prevalent here in the United States, but somehow it's gotten lost. And particularly for African American people, maybe not so much because of our unique history of enslavement in America. But I think it was even practiced then to the extent that it really could be practiced. So anyway, it's not going to be a history lesson about that. So I'm going to continue with Dr. Patricia Allen's, I've been binge listening to Dr. Patricia Allen's radio program. And one of the things that she talks about, she is also the author of Getting to I Do, and I'm going to get that book. Hold on one second. She's also the author of this book, Getting to I Do, Dr. Patricia Allen. I must have read this book 7 to 10 times now. I even gave away a copy to a young woman in April of this year. She was about 22, 23, wanted to get married and didn't really know how to go about it. Her parents were still together, and she was living at home, but she wanted to be married, and she didn't really have anybody to talk to about it and who could be a role model for her, even though her parents were together, but she didn't kind of like that family dynamic. So I gave her my copy, and I got a new copy from Amazon. And so one of the things that Dr. Patricia Allen always asks her callers, especially because 99% of her people who call are women, she always asks, did you have intercourse with the man? And, you know, she goes through this thing of, did he put his body part in these 3 areas of your body part? Because if he did, then that triggers the pineal gland to produce oxytocin, which bonds you together like super glue, and it takes 2 years for it to wear off. She said, all of this is science. And I'm like, oh my God. So that explains why when women have intercourse with men and the pineal gland is activated, and then the hormones produce oxytocin, which is the happy thing, and that the happy hormone, and that makes you crazy about the guy. I'm like, okay. So she says, the reason why, this is based on her radio program. It's not in the book. It's not in the book, based on her radio program, which is the last video I did, and I will link it in the description box. Based on her radio program, she said, the reason why we have men not wanting to marry women, and, you know, babies are being made without the benefit of marriage, without the woman and the baby and the children or child having marriage, is because women have intercourse with men without a commitment. And she has a particular steps that you go through to get the commitment. And so first you have to have chemistry. She said a man knows whether he's attracted to a woman within 3 minutes of being in her presence. So he smells her pheromones and she smells his. And so since we wait for men to pursue us, if he's attracted within those 3 minutes, then he's going to start pursuing. And she said it's natural for men to want to have intercourse right away. It's just in their DNA. But it's up to us as the gatekeepers of the womb to slow it down until we feel safe and secure. And if you want a commitment from him, then you have to not have that intercourse until you have a commitment. And so she says there are three things that you have to even start to even build a relationship. And you find out these things by dating. And it's chemistry, which she basically says is lust. Compatibility. Do you like this person? Does he like you? And, oh, shucks. Chemistry, compatibility, and communication. Do you communicate well together? And that's what she talks about, is how to, if you want to, she calls it bitch, moan, complain, say something negative, that you have to make an appointment with him and get his consent to talk about it. And she called that respecting him. Now, I don't know about you, but I grew up in a household where if my mother had a problem with my dad, stepfather, she would just like go all in, where she wouldn't do it in front of guests. But if she came home and he had gotten on her last nerve about something, or she didn't do something, or she felt like she had asked him for the 1000th time to do something, she would just go all in. And I would like to say just vomit all over him. And of course, he still wouldn't do what she wanted him to do. But hey, that's the only way she knew to communicate. And honestly, that's what I learned. Even though I didn't really communicate that way with the men in my life. But when I did argue with them, I would go head to head, as they say, toe to toe, to prove my point, rather than just say, to myself, is it really worth arguing about? Are you getting what you want? Who cares what he says and believes if you're getting what you want, right? So they say, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And I don't know about you, but I want to be happy. So that's the start of it. Communication, chemistry, compatibility, and communication. That's the foundation of it. Chemistry is lust, and a man can tell that within 3 minutes of being around a woman. And compatibility, do you like each other? And then the woman, chemistry on her part too, she can tell as well. And communication. So those are the 3 C's. And then chemistry, compatibility, communication. Oh, and then if you want commitment, then you ask him about monogamy, continuity, and continuity. I should have wrote this down, y'all. I'm going off the top of my head. Monogamy, continuity, and long-term plans leading to a long-term commitment leading to marriage, if that's what you want. Or she calls it mating, where you don't get married, but you still have like an engagement ring or a promise ring, so that the woman has status within society without legal marriage. So I like to keep these videos short. So the foundation of what she says in the beginning is chemistry, compatibility, and communication to get you started for the first 3 months. And then after like you're going into the 9th month, she talks about when he asks for intercourse, you establish your agreement and what you need to feel safe in that context. And most of the time for women, it's some kind of engagement ring or a promise ring if you don't want to get married. But you still wear the ring. He's introducing you as his fiance so that you have some status or social status or standing within the community or in society, and you're just not, the forever girlfriend. And that's based on, you ask him if he's willing to be monogamous, continuously see you on a regular basis at, whatever you agree on, once a week, twice a week, or whatever. And you both are headed to a long-term commitment that leads to marriage or mating. So if you want to know more about those concepts, please listen to latalkradio.com. Dr. Patricia Allen, Thursday nights, 4 p.m. Pacific, PACIFIC, Pacific time, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you watch. You can learn so much from her regarding communication. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video or any of my others, please like, subscribe, share, and check out the statement journals on Amazon. Bye.